unstable podcast.
Shut the fuck
Seems
up.
like
The unstable podcast.
Well, take 3 because I
Unstable the pod, the window, the pod.
Welcome everyone to the Unstable Weirdos podcast, where we talk about educational random shit just for the fun of it. Today we're talking about the universe, starring fucking me and Matthew, while the other dickheads listen. I hope you enjoy this wonderful video.
You'll never make it as a YouTuber, just saying. Anyway.
Trust me, the only time I'm ever on video is here and ruin your stream.
Don't you think? Jeez.
Matthew, the only other time I'm ever in a video is this, or to ruin your streams.
It's a very good point. Alright, I'll kick us off when you're ready.
Well, am I starting off with the facts and stuff?
Whatever you want. Start off with whatever you want.
Oh, I've got a fact. You've got a massive noggin, son.
I wondered where that was going.
And Matthew, you start because you started last week, and
Oh, Lord. Alright.
Yeah.
Tyler is a ceiling.
What up, bro?
Oh,
Yeah, that's the next. Tyler's not even fucking transgender. He's just trans building.
that's not funny.
What does that even mean?
You was a guy. Now you're 15-acre, 2-story.
Built like one. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I'm a big dude.
I mean, so.
Like join Diana, who's getting a teddy.
Alright, so we'll start off with when the universe all began. 13.8 billion years ago, there was this very small happening called the Big Bang. Basically, 2 points of energy collided and expanded out over gazillions of miles, and yeah, that's why we're all here today. And that's me. I'm out.
Bye bye.
No, I'm joking.
Well, guys, it's been good. I'll see you all next week.
Obviously,
No,
there's
we
many.
have to get to 10 minutes, so if we do get monetized, we can make money.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
That's gotta go.
Half
That's
of
like
this is going to be
includes the
edited
10-minute
anyway.
intro.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Minus the first 10 seconds, because we can't have that on YouTube.
We can't first have the first 2 minutes, but yeah. Anyway, there are many different theories about how the universe started. The one that's the only really credible one is the Big Bang theory.
Well, I'm going to have to say God.
There are going to be some people that we will offend by saying this, but
we don't care.
The fact that some dude with a beard sat in a cloud that wouldn't exist in an atmosphere that didn't exist made the world in 7 days.
Can we just like think about this? What makes more sense? A bundle of energy going bang, or some random guy just floating through nothingness and just went, do you know what?
I'll have you know, my magic man is better than yours.
Do you know what? I don't have one. I believe in science.
My magic man. My magic man.
That's what they are, aren't they?
Fucking hell,
I'm
Carl.
going to need a drink to get through this.
That was chaos.
In a minute.
I should probably point out at this point that everything that is said in this podcast is based on our opinion and our research. None of us, I don't believe, have any form of specific religion. So, yeah, this is all basically
I'm
scientific
atheist and
research.
proud.
I believe in Lucifer.
I like pretty rocks.
I like penguins.
Fun facts, Luke.
Oh,
Do you know
can't say it.
you know the people that buy crystals?
Go on.
Some guy on a market actually managed to convince a guy saying, close your stall, you're not allowed to sell those because they do not prove to do anything. Some guy said, put your hand over this, you'll feel the energy coming off you. And, well, I feel it, and he bought it. He got arrested 2 weeks later for selling radioactive material.
Oh, this is an absolutely stunning piece of lapis lazuli.
It's very pretty.
That is
It's
quite
very
cute.
pretty.
One second.
Mine is the frog.
And
But all of
the
that,
lapis is for love
all of
and
that,
self-care.
all of that, Luke, would not exist without the Big Bang. I'm sorry if you believe in God or whoever you believe in. It didn't happen, mate.
Silly.
It just doesn't happen. There might have been
Just
a guy called Jesus somewhere, and he may have lived near Bethlehem. He
I
may
have.
been born
Wait,
there.
give me a second.
Schizophrenic.
I have more chance of believing what happens in this book than the fucking Bible.
But let's be honest. If
I'll just cry if
Oh,
you
wait,
can
no.
that Mein Kampf then.
What better in this book?
Oh god.
Yo, we can't use anything from this week's podcast because Luke's here, bro.
No, to be
Oh
fair,
yeah, with Luke, we're just pissing off the world.
you know,
I'm about to eat myself. Thank you very much.
I mean,
It's a happy hippo.
fuck.
Anyway.
Oh, God. But let's be honest. If we go back onto the whole topic of God and everything else,
Then we're fucked.
You mean dog spelled backwards?
Yeah. If Jesus was alive and did live in Bethlehem, and he was white, as the Bible says, then that would have been the miracle. Because
hang on, because I love it all in our rooms, like that comfortably for this podcast. Tyler's just going to get the fucking a carton of milk or some shit.
Tyler's gone to run
no,
away
no.
from his family.
No, he's going to go back and smoke something, man. He'll be back at some
He's
point.
making an
I'm trying to
escape.
find my fucking vape, man. Set it down somewhere, and I can't fucking find it.
That's why you own like 15,
I've got
because then
2.
you don't have to look for them. You just get a different one.
Well, hey,
And
Callum,
which
Callum,
one-
you wanna? Would you like to send me the money for it, bud?
I mean,
I
He
don't
doesn't
know.
have a
I don't know
stable
how.
job.
I don't know how cheap they are over there, but they're really expensive
not
over
at all.
here.
Not at all.
What, $7?
They're not that cheap, but they're not that expensive either. It depends on what you have.
If you have disposables, they're only got £6, which is equivalent to about what?
$4.
$7.30.
$4. No, I'm going the wrong way. I'm conversion now.
You are going the wrong way, and you're converting the wrong way.
I am converting the wrong way. Anywho,
Supposed to
Why is
convert
there
the-
bigger Christianity?
That's his point.
we'll just go back to that. We'll go back to the whole topic of discussion as opposed to us talking shit about vapes. And yeah,
That's for next week.
We'll do a vapors topic. So, like I said, there are multiple different theories about how the universe started. The Big Bang is the only really credible one. There are a few more. One of the ones that Callum has mentioned previously,
Like the Big Bounce theory.
the Big Bang
That-
theory. That's the one.
I love that theory way too much.
Go on.
It just makes sense to me. So, for the people that don't know what the Big Bounce theory is, the Big Bounce theory is the theory of
Oh, when
the
he
Big
falls
Bang.
over.
Shut up. The Big Bounce theory is the theory of the Big Bang after it happened, the energy that was used runs out eventually, and then it'll all start collapsing on itself back into a singularity to happen again. Which brings to the theory that we could be on our 100th universe by now, but we don't even know it because we just know our current one. And I love that theory way too
Quite
much.
like that thing. I quite like that thing.
Do you think
Because
But
it
why
also
does
leads into
parallels
the
come into it?
It can also lead into the multiverse theory because it goes towards black holes as well.
But in that sense though, if like everything was to collapse, wouldn't you think if we're on the 100th time round that we'd fucking figure it out by now?
Well, no, because
no,
we wouldn't remember
because
anything.
let's just
No, we
There'd be
wouldn't
no
remember anything.
credible
But you'd be able to
documentation.
It's like
research
Matthew.
and do what they've done now with the Big Bang, but
Like
just with the Big
Matthew.
Bang.
But
If-
I watched.
if I wrote your national insurance number, your bank details, and everything on here, and I set this on fire, would you ever be able to prove that your details were on here?
No.
If I saw you write them, then yes.
But
But
thing
if
is,
you had that information without me giving, it doesn't
what
fucking.
what arsehole is old enough to be able to go, oh, I was there when it bounced, you know, it was fucking beautiful.
My auntie.
Oh,
My
God.
granddad.
This is gonna go on YouTube, babe.
It's fine. They don't know what YouTube is.
That's all you think typewriters.
my granddad.
Subscribed.
My granddad turned around to me the other day and he said, "I don't even know how to Google."
My favourite
And
thing
that.
was when Anne got on Facebook and she added me, and you guys know I shitpost on Facebook.
Yeah.
And she thought everything I shared, I was sharing it for her and only her. So when we was out for dinner, she was cussing me about, why are you putting this on my Facebook? I'm not sharing it for you. I'm sharing it because I know my friends that are just as stupid as me will also laugh twice as much.
Yeah. Old people are great. This generation could be the weirdest old people ever, though, aren't they? Let's be honest.
No.
Oh, back in my day, people used to send tit pics on Snapchat.
Current old people, they're great. They're like Google on legs. Like, I remember once an old geezer was just like, in my time in the military, I learned how to just say what day of the week any day it would fall on. I was like, go on, you're intriguing me. So he said, when's your birthday? So I told him, and he said, that's gonna be on a Tuesday. I checked calendar, it was a Tuesday. I just had a bit of a what the fuck. And then here's us. I couldn't. Some people can't even tell you the fucking time on a 24-hour clock.
Tony.
Yeah, Tony can't. That's kind of scary. The universe wasn't invented for Tony.
Let's just have a quick show. Who uses 24-hour time on their phones?
I do, but I can't show you my lock screen.
Why?
I use 12-hour because that's the natural set, and I can't be able to change it.
I use 24-hour time.
That's why I can't. I have to keep this covered.
Don't worry,
Oh.
Matthew.
It's not going to focus because the camera's shit. But...
So,
Shit,
don't worry,
bitch.
Matthew. I have the same issue in my home screen.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Can confirm.
Yep.
My,
because-
mine,
I use
both of
12
mine.
hour because I can't be able to change it.
Subtract by 12.
Mine's 24-hour. It's
Yeah.
also got Matt's face on it.
Rapping for the boys.
I don't know if you can see.
Oh, you not broke it with that on?
It is smashed, to be fair.
If you order yourself a new screen, I'll replace it for you.
I have a guy that does that.
Mine's 12 hours, and it also has Matt's face on it. So.
Tyler disappeared for 4 minutes. Tyler disappeared for 4 minutes, reappeared with glasses. The transformation. He's got windows on his face. He's becoming the house he wants to be.
He literally just appeared to say that.
But guys, he now has windows on his face. He's becoming the house he wants to be.
Oh god, this is not at all educational.
Oh no, we've got really sidetracked.
It's fine.
That's the point of a podcast.
I'll edit it out.
You
Right, so
will.
from the Big
You're too
Bang,
lazy for
from the Big Bang, the next sort of step to happen is called inflation. Pretty simple.
I've heard about that in Germany. 1932.
Shut up.
What?
We're not going to get anywhere this week. We're not going to do anything.
That was infiltration.
No,
Not inflation.
no. Anyone that did history knows what I'm on about.
I'm just going to sip my tea.
I'm just laughing like a bitch.
No, I have no idea what you're on about.
Zeppelins, you dickhead.
Who?
Oh my God, Matthew.
No, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
Zeppelins.
Zeppelins.
Yes.
Oh.
He doesn't know.
Oh, okay, yeah. I get
Matthew,
it.
do you see
So
something
that's
about
not
the time?
libel. Go off above
Matthew, do you see
Matt.
something about the time in Germany where kids used to play fucking build a house with money because it was so useless? They literally used to use stacks of money like Lego to build and play with because money was that valueless.
Valueless.
I'm gonna find a picture of
I
that. just
will
send
get
me, though.
through what I've got written down at some point today. I
Yeah,
promise.
you will.
Point. Does everyone want to see what I'm considering changing my PC background to?
No,
It's nothing rude.
he's gonna show us anyway. Go on, we'll find this out.
If it's a dick pic, well,
It's Matt.
I wish I did not get that on record. That's me.
hang on, Luke, hold there a bit longer, get a picture.
No, don't do that.
Please send that to me.
Picture, you're all
Luke,
good.
send it to me. Luke,
Yeah,
send
Sam.
it to me.
I'll just do one better and just put it in the group.
While Dana's pissing herself, Matthew, check your phone when I send this show. When I said
I
kids
love
used to
that.
play with money, Matt, quickly check your phone. When I said kids used to play with money, that's what I meant. Look, quickly.
Okay, man.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
That
Here
is
you go,
lots
Matthew.
of money.
Mine's on all those piece.
Yeah, but it was worth less than 1 pence.
I'll make you less embarrassed, Matthew. Here you go.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that's fine. I thought you were gonna put a picture of me in. That's fine. I can deal with the ginger nut.
Oh, I have a picture of you with your long hair when you used to look like fucking your generic 2013 emo somewhere on my phone.
I,
Yeah, I've
for
got
some
that
reason, I have Luke with a video with something about 5 gum. How it feels.
Nice.
How it feels to chew 5 gum.
I don't think
Hang on. How the fuck have we gone from the Big Bang and inflation to
I have
fucking
no idea.
talking
I'm leaving all
fire?
this in. I don't give a shit.
When you're having 5 gum and you decide to blow a bubble, that's inflation.
Haha! The link! See, it wasn't going off of random bullshit.
We'll link back to the universe after that.
From
And
five
it's also purple if you have the watermelon one. And do you know what else is purple? Potassium. And what do stars burn? Potassium.
We've got there eventually.
Yeah, we've linked it back. That's it. We've gone full circle.
What amazes me,
Back to the
Dana
point.
was literally reading
Carry
Matt's
on, Matt.
notes last week and did not even know that, and he literally wrote about stars.
I didn't write about stars.
Oh,
I didn't get
well,
that
you
far
did.
into it.
Oh yeah, I spoke about stars.
Yeah, it was you. So the next bit on there is so from inflation of the universe, there was an afterglow, obviously from the explosion, just as there is with most explosions if they're big enough. The afterglow from the Big Bang lasted for around 375,000 years, which is a fucking
Almost as old as me, Nan.
it's a fucking long time. And the fact that existed
Really?
that existed for 375,000 years completely disproves the theory of a singular person going, there's
Listen,
light, there's
you
Earth,
trust
Where's
my
my
man.
phone?
there's that. Like, it's not.
We'll do it. Just proves the theory that
But
there's some guy just going.
to interject, if Luke keeps on looking like an absolute snack like he is, he's going to go in my background too.
Oh, yes, you do.
Will I get put there?
That's what he comes back to say.
Fine, I'll send you a picture if you do it. I'm being serious.
Alright, from the
He's not
afterglow.
really lying.
Sorry, Abby, go on.
That's
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
No, that's a really shitty brand of headset, right?
Yes, it is. So from the afterglow came the Dark Ages. Now the Dark Ages, there was no visible light anywhere. There was no stars. There was no anything. It wasn't. It just popped into being as it is now. So it took roughly 400 million years for the matter and
Matthew,
everything.
let's
and
see if you
molecule-
remember the lesson from last week. Why was there all of a sudden light? How were the stars formed?
fuck.
God farted.
Oh, here we go. He's gonna try and disprove me.
Basically, he was taking
He's
his
not.
shits everywhere.
He's not.
Fucking
He's not.
Dark Ages.
Yeah, God was just taking shits everywhere because he had a fucking chicken vindaloo. He was like, he had ring sticks, so he just burned bright.
Don't show me this again. Piss me.
I'm
Oh,
just
God,
scared.
go
Oh,
away.
I think that's
I can't see it. I'm blind.
Dark Ages is termed from the early Middle Ages, or Middle Ages in the area of the Roman Empire in Europe.
This is also called the Dark Ages. Things can be too.
Can't see it.
So
Yes, Luke. It's not like, when your mum named you Luke, she was like, sorry, someone's already called Luke, but the option Luke_2951 is not available.
Don't tell everyone my gamer tag.
yeah. So the Dark Ages.
He found his vape! Sorry, I just noticed the corner of the screen.
Sake. The Dark Ages lasted for around 400 million years. From that point, matter started having a gravitational pull on itself. So one of the reasons for that is dark matter was created when the Big Bang exploded, and dark matter has a repulsive gravity as opposed to an attractive gravity. So wherever it sits, it pushes things away from it.
So it's like your local geezer in the pub on the football night.
Kind
you
of.
walk through and go, fuck off!
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So that's what dark matter and dark energy does. It pushes away. So obviously, when it's surrounding things, it will push molecules together, and then those molecules have a gravitational pull to themselves. And basically, eventually, they formed what we now know as stars and planets, galaxies, and different solar systems as well. So that's pretty much everything from the Big Bang up to how we got to the universe we're in now. Stephen Hawking's theory is that the universe is ever expanding, and you can't trace it down to a singular point. Although there are some idiots that believe that the center of the universe,
flat.
yeah, that or that. But there are some people that say that the center of the universe can be pinpointed in Tulsa. Tyler will know roughly where that is, and it's marked by small concrete circles. Now, I don't know if this is just Americans or if it's just people in general, and because they've gone, oh, it's a circle, that must be where it started because it goes outwards. But no, that's completely.
I mean, you did point
This
out
is
both
also
idiots.
the Americans that are the avid flat earthers.
Yeah,
I mean,
there are more American flat earthers than there are
before we
anywhere else.
continue that on,
Sorry, Tyler.
Matt, did you hear people have a theory about Stephen Hawking? Like a recent one?
No.
They suspect he's actually gone to hell because it's always hard to get the stairway to heaven.
You're terrible.
There's a soul in your head, bro. Don't be alarmed now.
The worst bit is, I
No,
don't know if how many of you know how Stephen Hawking died.
Lost connection.
Someone unplugged his Ethernet cable and he could no longer do LAN parties.
He left the Bluetooth range.
Wait, I zoned out for like 5 seconds. What?
Someone kicked the Ethernet cable.
I think my favorite thing about universe wise and how everything is and stuff is we're all living in the Matrix.
Love it.
So
Good film.
I love it.
Good, yeah.
The Matrix of the universe fucking hurt me.
Yeah, as our Lord and Savior Elon Musk said that he's like 98% sure that we're living in a simulation. So
Yeah, but this is the guy that also wanted to have the Tesla Model S, X, and E.
And F. Now there's an F model too.
Yeah,
I must
but
say,
he's
though, Elon
done an
Musk-
F and an M.
He's done some decent shit for fucking space discovery.
Yeah, he really
Yeah,
has.
SpaceX. Honestly, brilliant.
I mean,
But
He
he's
also,
like,
don't get me wrong,
Jeffrey
Tesla-
Bezos, when
Tesla's a bit
Bezos went
overrated,
out-
but SpaceX is underrated, if you ask me.
yeah, it
Because
really
NASA's
is.
been working for how many years, and they still waste how much
Yep.
money because they waste boosters. Elon Musk just goes
No.
fucking bang with some money, just all of a sudden, he's got boosters that can land themselves to save money.
Yep. Jeffrey Bezos sent himself to space in a rocket shaped like a penis, which I thought was
Jeffrey.
Literally,
Jeffrey
hideous.
Bezos.
That just
Come on,
explains
Jeffrey,
why-
you can do it. Pave the way, put you back into it. Tell us
Come
why.
on.
Show us how.
If we ever
Yeah,
made it
from
famous,
you
we would
now.
not get monetized because Bo Burner would see it and be like,
Thank
this is shit.
you, Bo
uh,
Burnham. Thank
Doesn't
you
Jeff
so
Bezos
much, you
just explain why
absolute
the world's
genius.
so fucked? Like, so much of the world needs money to do things.
Amateurs
Just can fucking suck it. Tell us
Can we all
why.
agree with this?
Guys,
Jeff Bezos is the reason the world's fucked, because how much of this world needs money to do things, to live, and he just goes, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to space for banter.
just because you can. It's not
And
as
It's
bad.
then-
you just know he was pissed Saturday night with his boys, and he just goes, you know what, fuck it, I'm sending myself to space. Nah, you won't do it. Yeah, I'll do it. And next week he did send himself to space.
Yeah, but then Richard Branson did it as well.
Richard Branson was on about creating a shuttle that would go to the moon and back.
It's like, don't get me wrong, yeah, I can
It'd be
understand
great
Elon
if he
Musk.
could.
I can understand Elon Musk sending up rockets like how he is because it's for research, it's practice to make better things. Jeff Bezos was just fucking bored, and let's just waste a lot of money to go to space and come back.
So I wonder what that looks like. I'm gonna go see it. Imagine having that power. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
No, it's not having that power. It's
Yeah,
having that much
boys,
money,
You
dude.
guys tell me
Same thing.
stargazing is the best thing to do, but I'm gonna one up you.
Like,
Boy,
I'm
I
gonna
you
forget
go
got a
who it
massive
was.
telescope. I'm gonna get the front
I
row
forget-
seats.
I forget who it was, but he could give.
Jeff
Like
Bezos.
they estimated his money. Yeah, Jeff Bezos. They estimated the amount of money that he has, like his net worth. He could give like $157 million to every living adult on the planet and still have
Change.
billions.
That is slightly concerning. There is someone with that much power and that much money.
But the best thing is, you think about all the paper money you've seen in your life, that only equates to about 2% of actual money. The rest of it
All the
doesn't
paper
physically exist.
All
Let's
the
just
paper money
say,
that everyone's
Luke,
ever seen.
Yeah.
My
Fucking
clinical
crazy,
point
dude.
in physical money is literally this.
Alright, flex. I've got 30p. Leave it out.
Oh, I'll do one better. Fuck you,
I
man.
love my
I'm
parents.
still more rich.
I actually do have a pound.
Fuck you.
But yeah, so
I have two.
from from all of the Big Bang, that's basically how the universe is created. So we're just gonna go back to the actual fucking topic that we were trying to discuss here.
Tell us
bro,
why,
you
tell us how.
Fuck off.
Look what you came from. Look at you now.
So we were discussing the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Well,
And how there was.
We did cover the Big Bang theory as well. There are like I said, there are some other theories.
Luke.
Matt looks so drunk.
Wake up at 11:30, feeling like a bag of shit.
I'm gonna mute Dana and carry on.
Ah,
Bro, I thought, look at the state of me. I'm sunburned. I'm sweating, and you guys are fucking stressing me out, bro.
oh my clothes are dirty.
Wait, Matthew, stay still for a
feeling like a
I
bag
am
of
wearing a Johnny.
Stay still,
I'm
Matt.
grey by the end of this.
I can already see it coming through. It's fucking right there.
Ha, 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 ha.
Can't you see it? Fucking 365,000 back. About 200,000 from the left. It's right fucking there, pal.
What, there?
Yeah, can't you see it?
No, I can't actually. No. I do have grey hairs in my beard, which is kind of concerning. But
Can't,
besides
Grandpa.
the point. You
Matt's
can't grow a
face
beard,
is matching his t-shirt.
genuinely. Alright, so anyone that heard it last week, don't answer because we tried to film this last week, it didn't work. Anyone know how big
Really?
the observable universe is?
Stars your
Dana
mum.
can't remember.
Dana won't
Dana couldn't
remember.
remember. You fucking told her.
Luke? Any
I-
ideas?
I-
Yeah,
did.
ask him.
I did just say something, but I'm not gonna.
I heard
It's
what
only
you
as
said.
far
I
as you
heard what
can
you said.
see.
It's only, well, no, really, I didn't get that. So
About 60 kilometers.
the observable universe
It's very far.
93 billion light years. So to put that into perspective, 1 light year is 6 million miles.
And to put that into biggest perspective, Buzz Lightyear will never reach the end.
For fuck's sake, I hate you so much. There's actually a pain in me right now.
I'm not going to sleep tonight.
No. Yeah, so 1 light year, 6 million miles. In meters. If you wanted to be a dick and work it out like that, it's 880 septillion meters, which is 880 followed by 24 zeros.
Bro, you was just bored of
Walk
the
down in about 2 weeks.
That's
Right.
crazy, dude.
But I'll tell you something. There's a few crackheads, if you gave them a bit of fucking MDMA, they could walk that in an hour.
You've got a point there. No,
Fuck's
identified
sake.
smackhead in the bagging out.
That's crazy, man.
No, but back
That's
on
so.
talking
so
about
big.
light years. So they reckon that the biggest star we've found to date, which is Stevenson 2-18, is around 19,500 light years away, and it's 1.4958 billion kilometers,
Away.
and that's the radius.
No,
No,
I still
that's
find
the
it
radius,
That's the radius of it. Jesus Christ.
of the star.
What I still
It's
find
hypergiant, that is. It's a red hypergiant, and by the time that goes, whatever's within about 15,000 light years, it's absolutely fucked.
Sorry, you know what? I've just realised I've actually said that wrong. It's 6 trillion miles is a light year, not 6 million. 6 trillion miles.
Oh, I
Isn't it
couldn't walk
amazing?
that in 2 weeks then.
We start as we was like discovering our solar system. When we found a moon or a star, we'd name it. But as we just started getting further and further out, the names just seem to be like a dad losing Scrabble.
Like V1 Canis Majoris, for example.
Matt, have you not seen it? Half the planet to be discovered now? They just get a letter or two
Yeah.
followed by about 6 numbers.
For example, a nebula. WOHG64.
Go.
It's just a dad losing Scrabble.
Whiskey,
It's just a dad losing
Oscar, Hotel, Golf.
Whiskey, that's a good shape, pal.
Four.
Wait, no, too early.
Too early. It's a Sunday night. You got work tomorrow. It's
No,
not
I
yet.
don't.
Right.
No, I don't. My shift got rearranged.
Fair enough. Moving on.
Mine didn't.
Moving on a little bit. There is one theory. Obviously, we've already covered slightly the centre of the universe. There is another theory aside from Hawkins. The theory that the universe started from an initial singularity, so it can be traced back to that point by measuring how far it's expanded, and then going back in time and seeing how far it. Well, basically, you'd measure it over, say, a 10-year period from, one day, and then stop it 10 years later and be like, oh, okay, in 10 years it expanded by this much, and then you just work it back and back and back until you can pinpoint it down to the distance between two molecules. The problem with that is bullshit. and it doesn't
Whoa!
make any sense.
Big boy words, naughty words. How the fuck could you?
I've tried to sit and read about it for about an hour. I know I'm not a physicist. I'm not
You don't
an
want to be.
expert on
You don't want to
any
be
of
a
this,
head.
but the words that were used in it make no sense to me. Like, they have no meaning in my head. I can't even when looking up the words, they still didn't make sense.
One out, for example.
Now, do you see why I used to hate waking up and going to college some days?
Yeah, no, I completely understand that.
Throw a couple words out and let's see who can get the closest definition.
Before
A couple
you
words
do
about
that,
the universe.
wait. Before you do that, I have another theory about Stephen Hawking.
Go on.
I have a theory. He wasn't actually like disabled. It's just that one day, his wife went to him. He did this for me, and he just really couldn't be asked. So he just said, "Oh, sorry, my body's just stopping working," and then he just thought, "Shit, I have to play this out now."
He was in a car crash.
No, he
Who?
wasn't.
Stephen Hawking.
Was
No,
he
he
not?
had a
He had
no.
motor-
He actually had
he
a
had
disability.
He had motor neurons disease.
Yeah, he had a disease
What,
where his
What?
nerves just stopped working. They just decayed, and eventually
Me.
the only thing he'd actually move, was his left eye, which is how he used to talk on his chair.
Yeah, motor neurons disease is an uncommon condition that affects the brain and the nerves. It causes weakness that gets worse over time. There is no cure for it, but there are treatments to help reduce the impact it has on a person's daily life. Some people will live with the condition for many years. Stephen Hawking lived with it for about, I think.
Yeah, Hawking was told he had like 10 years left to live, but
It was about 45,
he
50
really
years.
he really said fuck you to that doctor and just fucking
Kept breathing.
yeah, he just kept going, just say fuck you, just to be
I'd
petty.
like to just throw a quick shout out to ALS, the charity, and they do absolute bits for motor neurons disease.
I generally thought he was gonna say, I'd like to have a shout out to ALS, doing some good bits out there, lads.
Fuck's sake. No, but there are many charities that obviously that work with that, but there is unfortunately no cure for it. Hence why Stephen Hawking was in a wheelchair for life and could only move his one eye.
Another thing I want to mention before you go to the game of who can get the closest definition. The fact we can see 95 billion light years away, was it? I can't remember. I've already forgot.
93 billion is the
That's
observable.
fucking close enough.
We're very close.
With that, we can see that far out. We can get clear pictures of planets, but we've never actually seen any other kind of life form apart from on Mars.
But this is what I don't understand, right? Like, obviously,
There's a walking among us.
There is
You got
definitely
it.
life out there. It's just I have the idea. They obviously we're a life form on a planet.
yeah.
We can see how far, but how far can we actually travel? We can't even get to Mars. We can see very far. We can see out of our galaxy, but we can't even travel out our solar system.
This
So,
is something that's always like,
So
made me theory.
I've always thought it's not exactly weird that we've never been encountered by extraterrestrial life. It just makes sense because if we can't get to a different planet to go say hello to anyone that's there, it also makes sense that they might be in the same position,
Oh, I just drop it in.
or they just look at us from outer space and just think, "Fuck me, they can barely get along with each other. How about separate planets?"
But this is the thing that I still can't get my head around. How we can go out and find these like stars, planets that are billions of light years away, but we can't get to a planet that's right next to us.
Because to be
Because
fair, I understand it because it's a lot easier to take a picture or get a satellite into space to take a picture than it is to get a spacecraft with enough fuel, power, and space with full supplies to get someone over there to actually do something.
I don't think I justified what I was saying enough. Like, obviously, the weight of a satellite is going to be considerably less than that of a rocket or any kind of aircraft that would take you from point A to point B. The point I'm making there is how light are these satellites to be able to go that far? Now, camera lenses, don't get me wrong, you can get some that take you meters upon meters. So these are big industrial things, like look at the Hubble Space Telescope, for example, right? So you can see that far out, but I don't get how it's travelled that far.
But what
for them to be able to
but
do
there's
that.
there is a lot of pictures of the universe taken from the Hubble telescope. So you'll know from owning the camera. I know from owning the camera.
What's-
If you look through a microscope, right, and you were to take a picture of it, you can see clearly because you're looking through that lens.
Yeah, been there, done that. It's fun.
But it's the same concept with the Hubble telescope. You could take a normal iPhone camera, look through the eyepiece of the Hubble telescope, and take a picture of it, and it's easily done because they've integrated a computer system into it that basically shows it up on however many screens they have, and you can just see it live. Like you can walk in and be like, wow.
One thing that goes into Luke's point, because obviously how much lighter a satellite with a camera is going to be compared to a space shuttle moving people with all the life support supplies to live and everything. That means it needs less force to get it moving. So what they tend to do is they'll get it into space, use the boosters for about half an hour to an hour to send in the direction they want, and just let it float or drift away.
Yeah, because there's no gravity, it will never stop.
So it's just a lot easier because it's lighter, so it uses a lot less fuel.
But in space, it doesn't
But
matter.
it
In
takes
space,
a lot
it
of
makes
time.
no difference.
Obviously, it takes
I
a
do
lot
have-
of time. But if it was
I
I
gonna
do have
that
something to add to that though.
Go on, Tyler.
Talking about how large and how like spaced out everything is and stuff. It's been, I guess, proven at this point that like whenever you look up in the night sky and you see a star,
Oh, I know you
by
got
the time that light has hit to where you can see it, that star could have already imploded, exploded.
Yeah.
That
That star is
and
like-
that's and it's
There is-
crazy.
There is a
It's
lot of
crazy
stars
with
that
like the
are
speed of light
that.
and how fast it travels and stuff, but that's just how far away that shit is.
That is the
fucking
case with a lot of
crazy.
the stars. Like a lot of the stars we do see at night are still there, but a lot of them they've been born, which we see. They've gone through their life, which we see, and they're already dead.
Mhm.
But by the time that star's light's getting to us, we're already just seeing the birth because how far away they are. It's astronomically amazing.
Plus,
One
it's
thing
very much
I
about
can't wait to be
science.
seeing. Are you guys familiar with Orion's belt?
Oh yes, it's just in my garden. You can see it perfectly.
It's a beautiful.
He's like,
set.
it's right there.
It's a beautiful set of stars, though, isn't it?
It really is.
Great to look at.
Not even just the belt, like the whole constellation itself.
Oh yeah, all of Orion
stunning.
itself is great, but in the belt, I'm pretty sure it's either the left or the middle star. I can't remember which one exactly, but that's called Betelgeuse, and it's expected some point in the next 2 months we are going to actually go see. We're actually going to be able to see it go supernova, because it's already gone supernova, but we're actually going to be able to see it by the naked eye, just
That's crazy.
in the sky, and it's
That will be
something
very bright.
that I'm going to advise you try and see if we get to
Well, hopefully it's
if you
nighttime.
haven't got any pollution in the sky. If you can see it, I recommend you look, because it's something you'll only see once in your life.
Beetlejuice isn't in the belt. It's if you're looking at the belt, it's top left. So what would
Yeah.
be like the shoulder?
Belt and then one up. So easy mistake, but it's
Opposite
still
Bellatrix.
But yeah, so
it's one of those that you want to look at because it's something you only see once in your life. So it's just worth saying you've seen it really.
it's one thing I do like is it Orion's belt? It's referenced in Men in Black, I believe.
Mhm.
It's on the cat's.
The first one, yeah,
yeah,
that's the name of the cat is Orion.
Yeah, and the belt is the collar, isn't it? Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep,
Um,
and there's a whole galaxy in that little jewel.
yeah, a little bit of space nerdiness.
That's crazy.
And a bit of film nerd.
What I was going to say is something that's absolutely mesmeric. Depending on how much you know about science and different elements, like different gases, like salts and whatnot, they all burn a different colour. So when you're looking at the stars, you can kind of work out what phase they're in by the colour they are,
Oh yeah.
because it's what it's burning. So, for example, if it's purple, it's burning potassium, which shows it's very early into its life.
But that's why when you see the star, you'll see white, because to the naked eye you don't really see it that well. But if you go on your phone, zoom in, it'll be something like green, yellow, just a different colour, and people never know why. It's just because they never know that that's currently what the element is burning on the outer layer.
That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
And
Yeah, it's
it
quite a
has
cool
to
little
start with
Pretty cool.
hydrogen. All stars start with hydrogen because it's the lightest gas. What's next, Cal?
I can't remember the order, but I do know for the composition of a star, it starts with hydrogen, which bundles together,
Which
which
is
gets a bit
nebula.
of a which gets a bit of a gravitational pull to it, which will then pull in the dusts and other gases within the area within the space.
Forms a
Which will
nebula.
pull-
Yep.
Forms a little nebula. So what's a I
Helium's
haven't got a
next.
scrap piece of paper, but it'll just slowly bundle up, getting tighter and tighter, becoming more compact, and just building the layers up to the point where it'll get big enough to the core, gets enough heat from the pressure to start a combustion, which will set off the entire star slowly, like ours, and it will do nuclear fission for its
Yeah.
life,
Mhm.
and then eventually it will run out of the fuel, which will do one of a few things. Our sun, it will just expand and expand to the point where it just collapses completely, eating our
That's a
solar
super
system.
giant.
Which
No,
is
sorry,
quite,
that's a giant.
yes. Then you have a supergiant, which does, I can't remember what it does, but I
The
know
supergiant goes into a supernova.
that's the one. But as you get bigger and bigger, it'll do either bigger explosions and make little fucking small planet, well, small little things out of it. So out of some stars that we can't even see, will when they go boom boom, will make a little element, a little ball compared to the planet of element that's so dense that if it hit our planet, it would do a tremendous amount of damage. But it's also the most valuable element that we know of apart from dark matter.
There we go. There's
It's
that.
quite
So it's
fantastic
hydrogen.
that-
It's hydrogen and helium, by the way.
because
They're the first two.
Oxygen, helium,
when it comes to this
oxygen.
element,
No, nitrogen,
Nitrogen. Yeah.
nitrogen, oxygen, carbon, and then it starts to oxidize.
So no, it's actually I think it's yeah. No, you're right.
But-
And then you get ionization as well.
the best thing to think is, isn't it mad that our just things in space produce an element that's so strong, stronger than anything we have on this planet, and we've only ever just read about it because it's never actually hit our planet. Because fuck me, we would know. I mean,
Well,
the
it's
last
hitting
time-
little,
the last time
it's
something
hitting
hit our
little
planet,
it's hitting little shrapnels to the point where we can research it, but not enough to be used.
the last time something hit our planet, it wiped out an entire species. So
Well,
There's something interesting I thought of the other day, like going on about like universe, like everything changing. Technically speaking, everyone's going mad about the ice caps and everything melting. Obviously, it is going to be
Process.
detrimental, but A, it's a natural process, and B, we're still in an ice age.
Hey,
if
what
there's ice on the planet, it's an
what's
ice
the
age.
controversial thing about global
We
warming?
are still in an ice age.
We are still in the period of ice age for our planet. It is a natural process of what's happening, but if you look at it in a different perspective, yes, it's natural that it's warming up and melting and everything, but the rate it's warming up compared to what it used to is down to our impacts on the planet. So yeah, we are doing damage, but it's not as bad as
Severe
people
as it's made
But
that.
if you look at
It's just the fact of, it's like, oh yeah, this car, it goes 0 to 60 in 7 seconds normally. If you put a few modifications in that, that's going to change dramatically from your impact. That's the way to think about it, because you're impacting the vehicle for it to go faster. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing with the planet. In a way.
I mean, if you look at the timeline of the planet itself, humans have been around for around 6 minutes in retrospect to like a day. So if you were to shrink the whole of the Earth's existence into a day's time, we've been around for about 6 minutes, and we have done more damage to the planet in 6 minutes than anything else before us has.
But
which is-
what's to say that this hasn't happened on another planet before?
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is why they're trying
So
to reach
there
out
is
to places like Mars, so they
theory
can
that
see where
people
they're
have
at.
made that us as a species used to live on Mars, and you know that we can all see how that planet went. It went absolutely arse over tits.
Yeah.
Because that has no magnetic field, no atmosphere. If you look on the surface, you'd think if anything could live on that, they deserve a fucking medal.
But at the same
But
point,
there's a theory that people have made that the asteroid that came down and just fucked the dinosaurs was actually our last attempt to leave that planet before it went AWOL. We fucked itself because people think we used to live on Mars. That's why the idea of that there's chance of life on Mars.
Yeah.
We was the pod that was the asteroid that came down and just fucked the dinosaurs, and those people
Up.
in the pod is what everyone calls Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve. Yeah, that's a crazy theory, dude. And there's so much information in that. It's
Like, it's believable.
kind of
It's one of
crazy.
those. You either believe
It's
it or you don't.
really crazy.
Because another thing as well, you can tell by like looking at the surface of Mars that there was water on it. You can
Oh
work
yeah.
out by, like, for example, the erosion. Like Carl said, it's got absolutely no atmosphere, so wind couldn't have caused
Yeah,
that.
because something went really wrong with that planet, but we don't know what, because obviously we weren't around for the time. But we know what happened. The core started to break down, which reduced the magnetic field, so it just lost its magnetic field altogether. And if you don't know, the magnetic field is what protects every planet from solar rays, you know, the fucking solar flares and that. So on Earth, we have a magnetic field. If it wasn't for that, the sun with its solar radiation would just would destroy the fucking atmosphere. So what happened on Mars was the magnetic field went, the solar winds just took the atmosphere away, and the planet died off.
I mean,
But
the
there
other.
is actual
Go on.
little bit of evidence there is currently life on Mars, because they have found spews of methane coming out of the planet at just like random intervals. Now, it's not methane is not exactly just, you know, naturally produced. The only real true source of methane is from digestion.
My arse.
Yeah, literally. When you fart, you're farting methane. So,
Yep.
and that's what every animal does. So there is actual theory that there is life on Mars because there is methane production.
I see Toby.
Well,
Yeah,
the
he
funny
was,
thing is,
Let's send Toby
funny
to
thing
Mars.
about
See if
that.
he can survive.
Wait, Tyler's trying to.
The funniest thing about that is there was literally, it was years ago. There was like a whole thing on like the local news and everything like that about like how there was people saying that the reason why the ozone is like breaking down so fast is because there's too much livestock in America,
Oh yeah, I've seen
and
that.
it was because of all the cow farts
Yeah,
and
that's what it is.
everything because
Yeah,
we
the
have so
ozone,
much cattle.
It
the
I was
does,
ozone's
like,
being demolished by cows taking shit.
it actually does damage to the ozone layer.
But no,
But-
not
What does, sorry?
irreparably.
Oh,
But
zoned out.
now we have vegans stopping eating meat, leaving cows about. They're going to kill the planet.
Vegans
Actually,
are the
I'll have
problem.
you know, me and Stacey are proper vegans.
I hate vegans.
But yeah, methane actually does do damage to the ozone layer, and the biggest source of methane on this planet is
Is me.
cows. Or Luke after a chicken vindaloo.
Just Luke in general.
No, me after the kebab I had last night. It was absolutely fucking atrocious.
Really?
Yeah,
It was disgusting.
Oh, right, okay.
when's before you?
And as you can see behind Luke, that door is closed, so Abby is technically in a gas chamber.
But my windows, which you can't see, and I'm not showing due to doxing, are open.
They are. There's balls in this room. I knew this.
But
Yeah,
It's
another
quite-
thing that we were saying, like, does anyone remember about 4 or 5 years ago they were on about the sister planet to Earth?
yeah,
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
Really
3
far
times the
away.
size.
but it's literally a replica pretty much.
It's got water, it's got everything else, hasn't it?
It's got water, it's got a
Yeah.
magnetic field, it's got an atmosphere. It's basically an identical, and that's even funnier. NASA still didn't name it properly. It's still got fucking Dad losing Scrabble name.
But this is the thing that, like...
You'd
you
think
kind of
after
have to-
finding something amazing as that, literally an identical planet to ours, give it a proper name. Oh, Matt's just
This is the kind of the other thing that you have to look at, though, with respect to it, is that...
so Matt, it's breaking in your house.
1649C.
Yeah. So literally a planet identical to ours. You'd think they give it a proper name, so you know it's something we
Hi.
remember. But it's just
Hello.
Dad losing Scrabble.
This is the other thing you have to look at, though, with like the whole Mars theory, is that, you know, you kind of can look at it the other way and see that the planet isn't as far along in its life as ours is. So
Oh, yeah,
you
definitely
can
not.
look at it from the other perspective, is that Mars effectively is the same as Earth. It's just further away, so it takes longer for things to happen there. That's why the gravitational field there is is stronger, so things are heavier on
There
Mars.
there is scientists currently trying to think of a way to actually make Mars a livable,
Yeah,
habitable planet.
that's the next
One
thing I
of
was going
them
to say.
is
It's creating an
the
artificial
two
atmosphere.
biggest theories is one's just fucking stupid because it'll make the planet a planet again, but we won't be able to live there for a very long time from what they do. And the other one is just a obscure theory of how they're going to do it. Because option one is if we launch nuclear devices at the Mars, it will theoretically be able to reignite the core, creating a magnetic field.
The ice cap.
Yeah, you know what I meant though. Come on, Tyler. Same thing.
Yeah, but the people watching this won't know.
Yeah, thanks, Tyler. There's a theory that it'll be able to reignite the core so it can make its magnetic field again, which then from there, they'd send up people to start building on there to be able to make an atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Issue with that, the
Nuclear
planet
radiation.
nuclear radiation, that's the issue. So you're fixing the planet, but we still wouldn't be able to live there because radiation would just kill us anyway.
Well,
The
it's kind
second
of like
one,
Chernobyl, isn't it? In that
yeah.
sense.
Well, it's not as good. It wouldn't be as high a radiation, and it'll be habitable before Chernobyl would be, but it's still a very long time.
Yeah.
The second theory is building a space shield to block Mars from the solar winds,
Mm-hmm.
to then send people up to start building like before. So one's just boom the planet, can't live there anyway. The other one is just really expensive, inconvenient, really really big long shot.
Yeah, but with Mars, I think that one of the plans that they wanted to do is sort of because you could create artificial atmospheres on Earth, it can be done. It's been done on a very small scale. So what they wanted to do was go to Mars, and then try and recreate it there with the same ideals, the same materials, and see if they can't pump out enough natural gases into.
That would be doable.
It would be doable. It'd take a hell of a long time, and we'd never see it. But
all the ways, it would take a very long time. It's just they have to decide which is the best way to make the planet a planet that's habitable again, and then also make it so we can actually live there as well.
Yeah.
Because the nuke way, it's faster making it habitable again, but then the planet will be going to nuclear fallout, so we still wouldn't be able to live there because nuclear winter.
Yeah.
Here's just something I've thought of. I don't know if you guys will remember learning about space and shit at school, but everyone always said that Venus was the sister planet of Earth, right? So hear me out a sec. With the sun's gravitational pull slowly pulling all the planets together, what if that Venus was the original life-holding planet, right? And we've noticed that we were going in, and we've kind of gone, right, shit, what do we do? We've took a planet back, going back onto Callum's theory about us coming from Mars, but going the other way, so going from Venus to Earth, wiping out dinosaurs.
Knowing that Venus was too hot.
Knowing Venus was becoming too hot due to warming, right? What if there was a planet before Mercury? But obviously, we've only known the art of literacy for so long.
So it could have been. So basically, what your theory is saying then that is, so we've constantly lived in this solar system, but every time the planet gets too hot, we just move back one and then wait.
We just like shit. Got to start again.
Wait until it pulls in and then
with
do it
how our planet.
I can get bored on Minecraft and you load up a new world.
With our planet, we're going overpopulated. We're dealing extreme damage to our atmosphere and blah, so on and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is, we're fucked in that scenario because Venus, the gravity's too strong, way too hot. It's constantly on fucking fire.
It is now.
So,
but you think how many millions of years, billions of
we
years
can't
ago?
go that way to evacuate the shit we're making.
That's what I mean. I know we can't.
Maybe Mars,
but
we're actually stuck where we are.
And that's what I mean. That's where Luke's theory comes in. That if that is right, that the sun is constantly pulling planets
that
in,
would
then
explain why
maybe the
people
one
like
we lived on
Elon
before
Musk-
Venus just got destroyed because it had been pulled
I
in
would
too
explain
far.
why
It's got-
Elon Musk and that are looking and trying to
It would
make
be
Mars
Mercury.
a place to live on.
Yeah, well, it's pretty interesting. I mean, I've got a page of a few weird facts about the universe. There is 5 in total, so I'm going to just quickly rattle these off. So, at the heart of every galaxy, there is something called a supermassive black hole.
Brilliant
Yes.
album.
Huh?
Very good.
Brilliant news album.
Basically,
Shut up
your
and let
local
that
person
talk.
in the corner just spread her cheeks.
No, so Callum knows a bit more about that than I do. But basically, essentially, a supermassive black hole is where so there's no visible light, hence why it's black. It just sucks everything towards it. So eventually, every galaxy that existed will be pulled in.
Talk about that because I have a theory that goes with that as well.
Oh, go on then.
Okay, so at the moment we live in the multiverse theory. Like we're trying to work on that. So
Mhm.
everything has a difference
Great
to
movie.
it.
When you say multiverse, do you mean like continuous parallels?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right. We'll go.
So like, there's multiple parallels to what we're currently living. So it could be like just slight differences. So
I have an extra toner out.
as or like if it was an election, one person won instead of the other.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
So every
Take
time,
it, Boris Johnson ain't doing well.
so every time
Well,
it's a 50-50, it goes.
yeah.
It's just like it goes the other
So
way.
that's more the dimensions theory. So the dimensions theory is that to every choice there ever has been. So if I decide to use my vape in this hand,
In the
there's a
most,
split dimension at that singularity where I use my vape in
yeah.
this hand, which
Your
leads
microphone's
to
on the other side,
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
cap's blue, not red.
So everything's
Yeah.
backwards.
so to
Okay.
every just like
Giving you life
decision that
further.
you have made, there's a split there to a different dimension where you took the other option, which leads to unlimited dimensions going on. It's really hard to get your head around.
Is that not
without
Basically, Rick and Morty.
No,
that not a
the
pretty-
easiest way to explain it is, when you go to a service station, you go and use the you go, you have a slash, and you go wash your hands,
Yeah.
and they've got the mirrors that there's two that side and one directly in front of you,
Yeah.
and then you look in one and you can see the back of your head, but then you look in the other, vice versa. What if that's you at the same point of time in all the different dimensions
Having a pee at the same
doing the
place.
same thing?
That's pretty
Well,
cool. Pretty cool theory. I mean, I
another
suppose with
idea
that.
to the
Sorry.
multiverse
Jesus,
theory.
I thought the first podcast we had was about for fucking stoners. Jesus Christ. Oh man.
But
Yeah,
another idea to
this
the
is some
multiverse theory
shit right here.
that goes on. Obviously, we have black holes, which is a gravitational pull, which is that strong to the point where even light can't escape it, putting in
Sounds
matter,
like you're
light,
awesome.
everything about it. Now, that all pulls into one singularity. The theory of the Big Bang is started from a singularity of energy and just matter. So there is the theory that to every black hole
There's
going
another
into
Big
one
Bang.
singularity, there is another universe behind it. But to that,
You'd never be able to
on
get
the
there.
on the theory of black holes, on the other side is what's called the white hole, where it expels. Now, you will only unlike a black. It's like the opposite of a black hole, obviously. So a black hole will constantly pull in. You can never go out. A white hole, you'll constantly expel, but you can never go through.
Wait. I have,
So-
I have a cool link. This might be completely wrong.
Teleportation.
Oh,
However,
bless you.
right. Imagine if on the
You're
one
wrong.
side, I am wrong, but imagine if on the one side there was a black hole, right, and then on the in a separate universe on the other side was a white hole. So everything that comes through the black hole then just gets pushed out via the white
Yeah,
hole, and that is that what you were going with that?
Rebirth.
Best way to explain the black hole white hole idea.
Nailed it.
Teleportation,
No.
going through one, coming through another, opening a
You know
door.
how the
Going
idea of
through.
wormholes is there's an opening in the time and space somewhere,
Continuum.
and it just opens somewhere else.
And you could just walk through it.
Yeah, like it just opens elsewhere in the universe.
Yeah.
Imagine as you're going through that tube, it just makes like a knot or just kind of a barrier.
Yeah.
So you can go through, but you can't come back.
One
Just
way door.
like Yeah, like a one-way
Like
road.
when you go into the when you go in what they call supermarkets, they've got those censored barriers that basically force you to walk around the whole shop to get out.
So that's
It's
the
a bit like
idea
that.
of the black hole, white hole idea,
Mad.
which
I'm glad I
also
managed to
leads
cut
to the
onto that. I think
idea
I feel
of
smart now.
extra universes. So literally, there is the idea that we have universes inside our universe because of black holes,
That'd be
which
crazy.
I love.
But
thinking
back
about.
onto our solar system,
Hmm.
they say there's a black hole in the center of our solar system, which is what's allowing the sun's gravitational pull everything towards it slowly. Now, with that, let's lead on to Pluto. What's the other side of Pluto?
Nothing.
Nothing we know of
Don't
because of
know.
how far away Pluto is. What if Pluto is effectively the new Mercury? Because it will be at some point.
To be fair,
Wait.
do you know
So
Jupiter?
yeah.
Jupiter, as we know, was a failed star.
Yep.
So
And
it,
Saturn.
so Saturn wasn't not as
Seven
close.
ranges.
Jupiter was like on the edge. Saturn was getting there, but Jupiter was literally on edge. So there was the idea. If Jupiter did its thing the way it's meant to, our solar system would have had two suns, Jupiter and the sun. Can't remember the name for the sun. It has a name. Can't remember it.
It does
Called
have a
the
name,
sun.
but
Is it not the sun?
I can't
No, it
remember
actually has an actual star
It
name.
has like a star name.
Oh.
Every star
Like,
has a name. Because
I'll tell
although
you.
we know it as Luke will search that. But Jupiter was actually meant to be a star, but it just did not get enough matter and gas into the gravitational pull for it to just get there.
So
and
imagine
ignite.
that though, if there was two suns, like it'd never be night.
There's
I mean-
Sol, which is a nickname of it.
Tyler's very confused by that. He's like, how does that make sense? If
I
there
mean,
was-
to be
because-
fair,
because
Matthew, there
Jupiter's
is
on one
places-
side and sun's the other, like there'd be
There is
light
places on
bulbs.
Earth that will literally have day for about 3 weeks and night for 3 weeks.
There's not an official name for the sun, but a lot of people go with Sol. You like the name.
Okay, that's pretty cool. All right.
David dropped a headset like a dickhead.
Next interesting fact about the universe. The universe, no matter where you are, if you're in space, is the exact same temperature. So if you're
Yeah,
not,
1 Kelvin.
Huh?
It's 1 Kelvin.
Yeah, minus 270 degrees.
Yep.
Is the unit that I know, because I don't know what Kelvin is. But so obviously if you're not by a star, if you're in just the general universe, you're not in a solar system, the temperature is minus 270 degrees, which I just thought was pretty interesting.
Kelvin.
But yeah,
That's what the astronomical unit of measurement
It's very
is.
annoying because in some of my chemistry exams, I had to use in some of my physics exams, I had to use Kelvin as part of the answers. So
Yeah.
I actually had to know how to turn Celsius into Kelvin to then do the maths and just keep it in Kelvin.
go on, just
Divided by
just for our
minus
brain.
206.
Which the calculation is minus 273
273,
plus or minus whatever the Celsius is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're trying to turn 10 Celsius into Kelvin, it's
Yeah.
just minus 283.
How would it be minus 283? Wouldn't that be plus? Not,
So-
like, would that be minus 263?
So yeah, you know what I meant. I've not done anything like that for a while.
Because you'd add it, right? If you
Yeah.
talk about like minus 4, it'd
You're
be
right.
minus
I just had a bit
277,
of a
right?
brain fart. I had a bit of a brain fart. You're right.
All right, no, that's fine. All right, next 95. I've already covered this. 95% of the universe is not visible to us, but only 5%. And when I say not visible, I don't necessarily mean that we can't see that far. I mean that there's certain things that you can't see.
See, what
So-
I love about that is you always see on Facebook people going, if there's the sun and light everywhere, why can't we see space? It's because people don't know. To be able to see something, light has to reflect.
Yeah,
If there's nothing to reflect off, you
it won't-
cannot see.
You can't see it. Yeah, exactly. So
That's why space is black.
Although I'd be inclined to say that you can see space to a degree,
to a degree,
because obviously you can only see so far out,
That's so funny.
but you can still see space. It's like the really interesting thing is the sky isn't actually blue. No matter how much you think about it, it's not blue. It's clear.
Nope.
It's the
It's
light
clear.
coming through the ozone layer, which is giving it a blue hue.
Yeah, it's
No,
like
I was always thought that it's like the reflection off the oceans
no,
Nope.
that
it's
makes the sky
refraction.
blue.
No,
It's reflection.
the ocean is clear, but it's a reflection of the sky that
Obvious.
makes it blue.
So
But because of how
Tyler,
dense it is, that's why it goes dark.
have you ever just been sat in a room with the sun going off a window? Do you know you get glass?
Yay, failed American learning system. Yes,
But Tyler,
that's what's up.
do you get like fancy glass where it has like thickness, like different thicknesses for patterns?
Yeah,
Have you ever noticed where if light goes through there, it comes out
Different
rainbow?
angle.
yeah.
Refraction.
That's because refraction. Because going through that glass, because it's just not one layer. It's like different layers. Light will go in because of how it is. The light will split off. So
Using crystals, you can
Yeah.
make the same effect.
that works. So do you know it's like midday, the sky's blue.
Hey, Daddy.
That's because the refractive index of the ozone layer for the light then is right for the colour blue.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know it's like sunrise or sundown?
What?
Do you know it's like sunrise or sundown? The sky is orange.
Yeah.
That's just because the angle the light's coming at the ozone, all the wavelength of blue in the white light reflects off the ozone layer instead of going through, because it's just too thick or too thin, one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's too thick.
Oh,
It just reflects instead of going straight through.
Yeah.
So
Here
that's
you
why we
go.
get orange
I'm
light.
gonna share my screen a second, just to show something in relation to this.
I'll pop it up on the screen for the video.
It's the visible light spectrum.
Oh, okay, cool.
So this is everything that you can see with the human eye, unless you're like me and colourblind with dark colours.
So
So
now we've got this up, I can explain it a bit better. So as you look towards the left, it's a smaller wavelength, which leads to the blue. That means if it's going straight on,
Joe.
so
Hi.
if it's a
How do you enchant
just
Tanty?
like, get
I
this
don't know
glass.
what it is. I don't.
If the light's going straight on,
there you go. There's a better one.
there you go. If the light's going straight on to this glass, it's a lot easier for the shorter wavelengths just to go straight through. If it's coming at an angle, the wavelengths that are longer go through a lot easier, whereas the thinner ones just don't have the strength and just fuck off. Which is why the sky is orange at sunrise and that, which is quite cool.
It is.
But you know, that's just like not common knowledge.
Did you ever
Yeah.
use the electromagnetic spectrum song for
No,
your GCSE?
no.
Oh, it's
I
the
just
pictures,
knew my
the
shit.
idea of it.
No, Abby, you brought it up. Now you got to sing it.
You brought it up.
You brought it up. Now you got to sing
Oh
it.
no!
But,
Yep, come on.
in terms of visible light, we can just see up to ultraviolet. Well, ever so slightly past it, it starts with infrared. And it's pretty interesting when you actually start looking into it, you know, and trying to understand the way that obviously your light cones work, like in your eyes. It's like the same way that everything you are looking at now is upside down.
Everything's
Our
flipped.
eyeballs act as a prism and flip it.
Because that's why your eyes are curved like out, as opposed to if they were curved in, everything would be the right way up. Well, it would look upside down to us, but it'd be the right way up.
Yeah, treat your eye like a triangle, like a triangular prism, because that's basically the way it reflect. Sorry, I got me retainer. Reflects light.
Yeah, reflect and refract are way too easy to mix up. You're trying to speak.
It's because I got only retainer in.
Yeah, I know the issue. It's very, very hard to speak with them in.
Yeah, so when your eye's trying to reflect the light to the point where you can see it, it's effectively going in numerous places and trying to expel itself so it's visible.
Yeah.
That's
So
pretty cool.
just to go back onto the about the universe and the 95% of it's like not visible. So 5% of the universe is made up of atoms. So that's stuff that we can see, touch, feel.
You say touch, you don't technically ever touch anything.
You know what I mean. So like,
Just to make you feel
There's always
weird.
that one fucking molecular layer in between.
Oh man, we had. Oh man,
That's so
it
weird.
brings
And
me
it,
back to the first time I heard that,
Technically, I
dude.
did not touch her, therefore it was not.
don't even say it.
no, but like it's just so weird how you can feel everything through
Yes,
your
Dad.
nerve ends, but you can't actually touch it.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
it feels like you can. It's
Do you know why?
magic, man.
It's because the receptors on your skin,
Mhm.
they're a lot more
Is it-
powerful than you think. It's like if look, we've actually practiced this. If you don't know someone's behind you, but they're holding something like right behind your head, your receptors will pick that up. So
You
then
can
you'll
almost
know.
sense it.
Yeah. It's
kinda
like a sixth sense, but just your receptors picking up very weakly.
Yeah.
So if you're really got stable hands, just try and put your fingertips as close as you can together without actually touching. You can still feel each. You can still feel them.
Matt's like, I got this.
Now, as you can
Watch
see,
me do
Matthew's
it.
praying to God, therefore he's on the wrong part of the
His
street.
face is like,
right. Okay. So yeah, 5% of the universe made up of atoms that forms, planets, stars, us, and everything else that we can see. 26.8% of the universe is made up of dark matter.
And the rest of it's covered by N'Golo Kante.
Wait. Did anybody catch how late Dana's reaction was to that?
No.
Oh my god. That was amazing. After we had all reacted to it and was about to say something, she looks up from her phone and goes, "What?" Like we had already started reacting and talking about something else, and she's like, "Hold on."
I'm not on my phone. I'm trying to debate whether to eat this or not.
Oh.
Eat it. Eat it.
Right.
I'm just staring at it like, should I?
Do it. Treat yourself.
That was like the definition of slow motion right there. Oh man.
I heard it.
Input, so why don't you just treat yourself to it?
Standard.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Do
it.
it. Eat it.
I'm trying to actually
Eat it like you mean it.
Can we have
Okay.
a thought?
So 26.8% of the universe is covered in dark matter, which is made up of subatomic particles.
And you all ripped into me for not being able to speak with a retainer. Well, he hasn't got one in, and he cocks up as well.
Yeah. 26.8% is made up of subatomic particles, which we can see, but you won't be able to physically see. It's not possible. And then the other 68.3% is made up of dark energy. So that's what I was talking about earlier. When I said about it having a repulsive gravity. And it basically pushed all of the atoms together to be able to form a gravitational pull for them. That's what dark energy is. So dark energy is completely invisible. You can't see it even with a telescope. There's no molecular form to it. It just expels, for whatever reason, it expels atoms away from it, and it makes up 68. Huh?
But finish what you're saying, and then I'll.
Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, like I said, 68.3% of everything that we know you will never be able to see, which is just adorable.
Thank you. No, but, I was going to say another reason why you can't see it, obviously it's a gas, but with certain infrared you can see gas, but then it's a case of it's one of those colours that you can't physically see with your eye.
You can't. It's not visible even through whatever no means that we've got on this planet or have ever had will be able to or will ever be or have ever been able to see dark energy. It's just not physically possible.
Give me 2 seconds.
You know it's there. We know it's there because there's research been done on it, but you can't see it at all. I've got 2 facts left. One of them is the universe was born, as we've discussed right at the start of the podcast, the Big Bang, and whatever theory you want to believe in. If you want to believe that a big guy with a beard clicked his fingers and brought everything into life, then you're more than welcome to believe that.
So Matthew did it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not that old, not that fat, and my beard's not that great.
Well, maybe.
But yeah,
I mean, your beard is that grey.
okay. I don't have anything else to add to the discussion necessarily. But if there is anything else that you guys know or want to bring in, maybe some conspiracy theories.
I haven't looked at any.
I mean, I know a lot about the universe being.
My biggest one is the simulation thing.
Ah,
And it's crazy because, like, dude, what if, like, there's so many, like, recordings of, like, things just glitching out. And, you know,
the
it's like the
planes
same
and
thing
shit,
repeating
and
over and
the
over
birds.
again. And it's like, man,
someone just logged
like,
off the game
it
for
gets
a
you thinking. Like, that might have been all the little that I used to do when I was younger. But, I mean, dude, you start to think, and it's like,
Do you know what the
Actually,
recordings of the
interesting.
could I jump off a building and then land on the other building? I mean, could I, like, stop a helicopter with a rope? I mean, am I Neo? Am I the one? I don't know. Where's my Morpheus? That would be dope.
Oh, so the other thing that you can think of is, has anyone played like Oblivion or Skyrim?
I love Skyrim. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
Well, obviously, you know, some of the NPCs just keep repeating themselves randomly.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of people like it as well. Like, you know, I'll share some links after this. Like, you know, from YouTube videos I've seen and whatnot. And it's what people are narrowing it down to the Oblivion theory, which again, like simulation, but they're all got NPCs. There's a bunch of people. They're just acting crazy over nothing. 2 seconds later, they don't even know they've done it.
Yeah.
ADHD.
with like
I got ADHD.
with the whole simulation theory. I think it's interesting, but I mean, there's also stuff that's happened, and I'm mainly referencing movies at this point. But you know, like the movie where the plane goes missing for like 5 years.
Yeah.
It takes off and just disappears, and then reappears 5 years later, and they don't.
It was 15 years, wasn't
Was
it?
15
In the
15.
movie.
Regardless.
But like either way, like the people on the plane didn't know they were gone. They just thought they were on a flight, and the people on Earth are just sort of.
I mean, there is a little bit of science behind that. It's just really, really, really,
Complex.
really rare. Basically, there's a small. If you look at items, they're made of atoms.
Mhm.
There is the most small chance ever that even if you just touch it, you'd be able to go through the molecular structure instead of touching it,
Mhm.
which is quite rare. But there is also the idea that the matrix of time and space, that
Matrix.
instead of going over it, you'll manage to actually go split it and go through, which actually would lead to the idea of flying and being missed for 15 years and not knowing.
It is crazy though when you
For
think about it.
example, the whole Bermuda situation.
I mean, that's down. I can't actually remember what that's down to. It is.
I can't remember.
There is
The
something
magnetic field.
Yeah, something that explains it.
The magnetic fields are just the most extreme in that certain area. So planes that are flying through, their engines will just lose power. The boats will do the same things.
It's just mad. Like, look at MH370, for example. You know the whole event that happened with that back in what 2015, 2014, 2015 was it?
No idea.
The whole disappearance of the Malaysia
Malaysian
Airlines flight.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, when that disappeared, nowhere near
Everybody would have
Bermuda,
seen
and
it for
it's
10 years when
taken
it turns up.
like 6 years for it to turn up. And only now have people started to find it, and it's like, well, hang on, that happened how many years ago?
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Which does obviously allude to the theory of, you know, it could have been another life form, but this is the other thing that I would be inclined to believe. If there are aliens, well, I say if, there are going to be other life forms if we're here, you know, there's bound to be something else. Whether, you know, we'll ever be able to distinguish them in our lifetime or not, that's beyond me. You know, I'm not in a position to say, yes, we will, or no, we won't. Obviously, I'd lean towards we wouldn't be able to, but it's still possible that, you know, that we are walking among them.
It's definitely an idea.
Because
Yeah,
how do you,
absolutely.
what defines an alien? an alien is something that you're not used to. If something's alien, it's an
Well-
adjective. It's something like obscure, peculiar, something you're not used to.
We're-
But is there any more sort of discussions about the universe
I mean,
anyone wants
to
to
be
have?
fair,
Or
If anyone has any kind of question to ask, I could probably answer in some kind of way if you want to know some shit.
yeah, so
maybe.
if there is anyone
not
watching,
really.
if there is anyone watching this to this point, which I apologise for, then
Well, if they're watching this point, give them a round of applause.
yeah. Well, guys.
I feel like we've got to take some
It's
questions
you.
from the audience, and we'll start by trying to answer them to the best we can. At the start of the next podcast.
Either that or well, if we have any, yeah. So yeah, if you do have any questions or comments of the video, please.
I'll be
leave
your
them-
tour guide.
Leave them.
Cancel these guys.
Leave
Or
them
any
on the video.
corrections
Yeah.
whatsoever. If you've got any evidence of anything, if you want to give us something to talk about relating to this, we might revisit it
Or
some
if
point
you
in the
want to give
future.
us
I would definitely
am
reply in the
here to learn
comments as well
more stuff.
with our response to you.
Yeah,
But on that,
if you have anything else that that you could give us to learn about the universe, by all means, because I'm down to learn anything.
Yeah.
So
I
I decided to do something that
I
will
want
piss
to
people
talk
off.
about with gators.
Stop it.
for those of you that
Let's say
can't
stop,
see
stop.
it on the video because we've had to do it on this, we're gonna click to spin and then we're gonna go back on here. What have we got?
Don't
Yes.
even.
Matt, can I jump on that with
Potter
you, please?
University?
Me and Abby and then Nell.
Matt, can I jump? Yes, thank you.
Oh, Harry Potter Universe. Oh, jeez.
Alright, so that's
That'll be
I
When
don't
I
know
exciting.
to
saw
learn
that Matt had
British
taken that, I
culture,
was
we
like,
use
oh
ones.
no. It's all I know about.
Hang on, I just got to expose Matt there with his tabs that were open. What is known and not known about the universe.
No, it's actually not. It's actually about the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say head open, to be fair.
I'm
No,
talking
no.
about the missingness of Glenn Miller.
But
He got on a plane and never come off it.
I think that about
Is that a
does
separate
it.
window,
That
Matt?
does about wrap it up. So anyone that
Oh
made
my
it this far,
god, Matt, I did not realise how bad your sunburn was. You
It's
literally have a
bad,
fucking
it's like, yeah.
forehead tan line.
Oh.
He really does.
You literally
It
look
really
like-
does. It's like all right around his eyes and on his cheeks.
Do you know French mask parties how they just cover the eyes?
yeah.
It looks like you had one of them on. It just irritated your skin. 'cause
It's his
someone-
hair, bro.
Someone just fucking like put a cum shot in there for you. Just left it there and it just like raped your skin.
On that note, I am gonna wrap up the
Oh,
recording.
no, no, let's leave.
I'm gonna wrap up the recording. We can start on Charles afterwards. Go on, Tyler.
So I'm going to shut up.
Later.
Yeah,
Alright,
Bye.
Take care, guys.
guys, we have been those
Fuck
you
Unstable Weirdos. If you enjoyed the podcast, please like, share, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, and any links that are relevant to this that we find, we will pop in the
And
description for
don't
you.
check who the Twitter's following because I have access.
Very good point. Right, guys, it's been a pleasure. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.